Hey there everybody, Paller here, bringing you the next part of Gnomoria. So quite a bit has happened actually since the other video let off where everybody got just destroyed. Since then I've done probably 6 or 8 different worlds trying to get down with the combat and everything, understanding it better. And pretty much every single one of them I just got destroyed on. It was terrible. But I did start to finally learn some things. I did some research and I figured some things out. First of all, I think there's still some balancing issues with the game. Just normal difficulty seems way too hard. It's from what I can tell early on, considering the first wave of enemies starts showing up 12 days in with that first wave of new nomads. I don't see any way to have made a blacksmith yet. And started to make armor, so you can have one armored guy plus other soldiers with just pickaxes and basic swords and stuff, nothing great to fight with. And I just don't see any way to defeat the guys on normal difficulty. Now, I have had success on easy difficulty, but it's been a trade-off here or there. What I learned was basically I was screwing up a few ways. One, I want a full squad. The other thing I want is, in that squad, one of the options in the military menu here, let's come in here, squads, we'll just, new squad, and then formations, where is it? Here. Retreat if bleeding. I was turning this off because my guys kept running away from the gnomes. Well, if you leave that on, and you have 5 guys in the squad, when the one guy gets injured, he will retreat, bandage up, and go right back, and he bandages almost instantly. As soon as he gets to a bandage, he's basically healed and he can head back out. And the other 4 guys will keep him pinned down. And if you do this, you can normally keep your gnomes alive fairly well, depending on what they're fighting. The key is having a loom to produce bandages quick enough that when the goblins start showing up, you can bandage up, because the combat model is surprisingly detailed. It's everything from severed limbs, broken arms, concussions type things. It's very detailed, and in a single fight with like one goblin, you could easily go through 20 bandages for the different cuts and everything everybody will receive. So you want to have a loom running and a pretty good supply of bandages, otherwise you might survive one fight, the next fight you'll be out of bandages and people will die off. The other thing I've learned is prioritizing and minimizing how much you queue up. Every time you queue up an item, it bumps the previous item down one. So say you have like 4 items queued up for the carpenter, and you put a new item in, it automatically goes to the very top and moves everything else down. And if you queue things up in the wrong order or whatever, you can get a real backup in the construction of that item. So you want to take your time on that. You also want to manage who's working where and how frequently with priorities. So I've learned all of this, and we're back here. This is a brand new world I just generated, and we're going to give it one more go. And, well, I'll probably give it more than one go if this fails, but I think I should be able to get in. I did one world where I actually made it a full year, so all 4 seasons, and I had not lost a single gnome at the end of that. I managed to come out of it pulling even, so that worked pretty well. Now, for the most part, we're going to start off about the same as we did before. This map's acceptable. We don't have any underground water sources, so here's 0. We do have, maybe a little bit here we could dig our way back, but I'm thinking we could just put a well right here and then kill the ramps and mine out a section here to protect it so people can't get down to it. Or we can actually put a wall all the way around this lake and wall over here. We do want walls. So the other thing with the protecting is you got to limit the number of access points, so they can't. Your gnomes can't get attacked on multiple fronts, because the whole group will tend to all go to one guy, whoever's closest. And while they're fighting that, one goblin could be off killing a bunch of your farmers in a different location. So you want to limit the entry points. It's pretty standard strategy. So if I come back down to 0, this is 2 or 3 high. We could probably flatten out all of this territory here, like from here along the edge of the lake and over, and make a nice area down here for our farms and everything. I think that's what we're going to go with. It'll also bring this well here. It won't be underground with us, but it'll be acceptable. Alright, I think that's what we'll do. Let's zoom in here and get going. The first thing, again, we're going to do is get a pasture up and running. Pasture. And we'll do it back over here. So 8x8 to start off with. Yak, that's good. And we're going to give this a priority of 4. Alright. I'm also going to, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get a farm going, and I want to get some straw or wheat growing. Do just an 8x8. This is going to be temporary, it'll be moved soon. That's going to be a wheat farm, and that's going to be a priority of 3. These priorities here I'm just kind of rolling with for a moment. There's other ones that I have pretty well determined out. I'll get into that as they show up. Alright, so we got that going. We don't need any wheat yet, so let's see. We want to do forage and collect up some of these strawberries. That there. We're going to leave the cotton because we don't need them wasting time on cotton. We're not going to plant orange trees right away. Let's see, is there apple trees? Apple trees. Apples. There's plenty of orange trees. Where are apple trees? So we don't have any apple trees. Am I blind? What are these? That's an orange tree. Yeah. Looks like we got a map with no apple trees. That's unfortunate. Very unfortunate. I don't know. I guess oranges work just as well. I don't know. It just seems to me that I'd rather an apple tree orchard than an orange tree orchard. We should be able to buy seeds off of a merchant eventually. Alright, so back to forage. Let's take up a bunch of these oranges here. That'll be our backup food supply. Okay, so we got that. We're going to need wood. We're going to be flattening this area anyway, so let's go ahead and fell all these trees here. And get all these trees out of the way, because the first thing we'll do is we'll level out this part right here. Give us a little more working area before we dive into all this. This probably won't come until later in the game once we're pretty well established. So we'll do that. That should be good enough. And we don't need to do clippings yet. That's fine, Okay, oops. Might have just clicked over to the wrong screen. And lastly, let's get our diggers going. Zoom out for a sec. We'll just come in right here. And, I mean, we got plenty of room back over here, so we'll do most of our work back over here. Maybe this way we'll bring the kitchen area so we can have the water supply right there. That sounds like a plan. Alright, let's go back, say 20. And then we will do a spot here. That'll be 10 deep, 3. And we might as well go all the way to 5. Like so, actually. Hang on. We do want it 10 deep, 5, but we want to have an entrance just because it looks neater that way. So we'll cancel those 2 and those 2. So we can put like a little door on there. Okay. So we have we got our log workers, our farmers, our miners, our rancher working. I think everybody has a job. Let's check our population, professions. Oops, assign. Builders are idle. They're going to be idle for now. Alright. Unpause. Let's get rolling. And away we go. We're going to get that going. So the other thing I've kind of learned is the default jobs work okay, but I've had great success. Nice. We hit stone already. That's very good. I've had success creating new jobs with very specific things. Like I created a job, I normally just call it worker, and their only purpose is to run the mills and everything. That way they're focused on producing items and everything. What are we doing? We're going to designate area, stockpile. This is going to be our dirt, 6x5. Now this gets a priority of 10. Basically, the last thing I want them to do is, if there's nothing else going on, move soil. And that's just going to be that one. We've gone into the whole stockpiling soil to get it out of the way, but we didn't adjust the priority of it before. Now they will always move wood, stone, cotton, everything else before that, because the other stockpiles are going to be getting priorities of 9. I'm going to go ahead and increase the speed. Actually, we're going to slow it back down. I'll make up my mind here in a moment. Okay, pause game. Next thing we're going to do is we want to get our main work area, our main storage area for all the random items. This thing's going to be pretty big. We'll make this a... Do we want it? Nah, we don't need that. We'll go 10 by 10. 10 by 10. We'll do an entrance there, an entrance there. On pause. Well, they're moving that around. Are they cutting trees? They're felling trees. Good, that's there. They've planted some wheat. Good. So we have 32 wheat. I wonder why they only plant 2. They do this to me a lot. Oh, they plant 2, and then they, for some reason, they take this job up next. So once they're done doing the trees. So laying out specific items that you mark here seem to always have a priority of 0. It's higher than any of these work orders. So we, at some point, once we have a large enough population, we will probably create a separate workforce that will just run the farms, and they won't have the job to go out and forage. That way the guys that do the foraging will only help when they're not doing anything else. Okay, so that's out of the way. We're going to pause again. Designate area, stockpile. Going to expand. It's a 10 by 10. Good. Priority of 9, so higher than the dirt. Now, our contents, we're going to spread, actually, so armor, weapons, tool, mechanisms, furniture. We don't want soil, we don't want stone, wood, coal, or metal, or gems. Those are all going to be going in our construction pile. We will leave cloth for now. We'll leave hide for now. We don't want bone needles. We'll put crafts in, jewelry in. We're not going to do food or drink. We would do plant minus grain, because that grain will go in with the food and drink, since that will be used for, like, barley for making beer and everything. And we're not going to do body parts. So basically, these items here are going to go in our production stockpile. This will also go in our production stockpile, bone needles, because those are used for making the looms and everything. These items would go into our cafeteria, I almost said our cafeteria, our dining hall area, along with the body parts, because they go to the butcher. Okay, there we go, that one's ready, and unpause. And now they should start cleaning that up. Oh, we also want to, right away, pause again, pause. For some reason, so you guys don't forget, you cannot pause if your mouse is over a menu button. So if you're right-clicking, the mouse is in here, and you hit the space bar, it's not going to do anything. If your mouse is down here, and you hit the space bar, it's not going to do anything. You have to be over nothing for it to work. I'm guessing that's a bug. It is out, or it is beta. What am I doing now? Building, that's it. Build, storage, crate. Any crate, build. 1, 2, 3 crates. And we're going to build... are we going to put the bag? Did I tell it cloth? I don't remember if I told it cloth. I did tell it cloth, yeah. Eventually we're going to do a separate one just for cloth, so we can get our bandages and everything out of there, but that means we can go ahead and we can put our bag in there also. I'll put 2 bags. Alright, unpause. Now, let's get our diggers going again, give them some more work. Let's dig this back the rest of the way, almost all the way through. We'll stop about there. And we're going to, right here, we're going to take off and we're going to run a path back this way, say 30. So the reason we are putting this farm in right away, one of the first things, and actually once they're done collecting this, we have enough food, I'm not going to have them gather anymore until this farm is fully planted, is we're going to need the grain for the cattle. I went over it in one of the videos, I think that got deleted, because it was originally going to be a training video, and it didn't, or part of the series, but I ended up getting my butt kicked, and there was no reason to show it. So I did some looking into, so now... So right here, this is going to be our crafting area. So 15 by 15. Is there enough room? Yes. And we're going to take out this corner for that. Do I want to do this, or do we want to try something slightly different? You know what? Let's try... No. We'll stick with what I know. I'll try designing something different later on. The cattle. So, One male cow will impregnate one female. Well, this is anything. So a male animal will impregnate one female animal every night cycle. And then it takes 12 days for that female to have a baby. So basically, you want one male per 12 females, with possible exception of an additional one or two males, just in case you get invaded and goblins kill off your male. You don't want them killing your only male, or you're in trouble. So 1 for 12 is kind of the ratio. And basically, then on starting the second season, you'll get one new cattle, yak, llama, whatever, every single day. And that is the key thing. Now, they do seem to need food for that. Or at least the food keeps them from wandering off, from what I can tell. And there's an item that we did not use, which was a trough. And the trough will be set actually in here. And then the rancher will take wheat and put it right in the trough, and they'll eat, and they'll be happy, and so forth. There's actually another item that we'll get into very soon that we did not use before. I didn't know about it. And it's made by the carpenter. And that is called a wheelbarrow. And as you can imagine, wheelbarrow's pretty straightforward. You make these items, and any of the items that will stack, they can use that to move it around. So they can use it to move dirt around, to move stone around, to move... grain doesn't stack, obviously, other than in bags. But dirt, stone, wood, all those type of items can be moved around in wheelbarrows. And it makes the movement in the cleaning of areas much, much better. Much better. Much more efficient. Okay, so here we are. We got our zone. Now we're going to build. Workshop. First thing we want is stairs down. Where do we want to put our stairs down? We could do it here. Yeah, we'll do it right here. So if I get the angle right, here we go. Build. No. Dig. Stairs down. Zoom in a little bit. Let's do something. We'll do, say, one there and one there. And unpause. And I'm actually only going to go down one floor. In the last video, I think I went down 2 floors to get a little bit lower. Apparently, part of what determines... So there's 2 factors in determining the enemies you get. It's your depth in the world and your kingdom total value. The higher the value of your kingdom, the more gnomes you get. But the more invasions you get, the more attacks you have to fight off. But then the depth you go determines what type of creatures will invade. So we don't want to go deeper than we need to right now. If the closer we stay to the surface, the better. So we're ready to really dive down in there. Okay, let's dig out this area here just to make it open right there. And then we're getting down close to the outer edge. Maybe we'll start here and do another one that is... Where is it? 15 by 15. There we go. And unpause. We're paused. So that below, that 15 by 15 will be the storage location for all the stone and everything. And what I'm going to do, I haven't actually tried this. I've messed around with the wheelbarrows a bit. They seem to, when they're using them, they use them great. But as soon as their task tells them to use something that they can't use the wheelbarrow, they just leave the wheelbarrow sitting there and they wander off. So I'm going to dig out a little section right here, probably like 5 long, and I'm going to create 5 wheelbarrows, and it'll be a storage location just for wheelbarrows. I'm going to set it at a really high priority, so if there's a wheelbarrow not in use, somebody should go get it, return it here, and that way the next gnome that goes to do some work, they'll hopefully pick it up and use it. I don't know if that'll work or not, but I'm going to try. It seems logical. Warp speed. This really needs to be updated. They need a 3x or a 4x at least. There's a lot of time in this game once we get rolling that there's just nothing going on, and you don't need to sit here and just watch it. You're waiting on construction. For a game that can already be very time consuming, it could just make it better, and it wouldn't reduce the quality of the game. If anything, it would improve it. Alright, designate area, stockpile. Down here, 15 by 15. This is going to be priority of 9. It's going to be our stone, our wood, our coal, our metal, our gems, And our bone needles. Good. Okay. Rotate back around. Next, build workshop, crude workbench. Build. We're going to build 2 of these. We'll put 1 there and 1 there. Good. Okay, so those are built ready. Now these are going to get an initial priority of 2. Later on we'll lower it down to 3 likely, but for right now they're going to go to 2. We're also going to get some things set up. We're going to want planks, craft 2, 20, so they'll always keep 20 planks in stock. Chair, craft 2, we're going to keep 1 chair in stock, any chair. Workbench, keep 1 workbench in stock, whoops. And 1 chisel in stock. And we'll match it over here. Now this doesn't mean we'll get 40, they just both look at it and they'll see a stock of 20 and they won't make any more. So craft a plank, that, 20, chair, craft, 1, workbench, craft, there we go. Okay, so there we go, we're off and running. Okay, we're going to do a little bit of... We're just going to tell foragers to get rid of this strawberry stuff so we can get this. And now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to dig this area out just to flatten it out. Give us some room. Whoops, not mine. Dig ramp down. Dig ramp down. Why is it not working? There we go. Alright. Next thing we're going to do is we want to put a place down for our food storage. It's going to have our kitchen area and our dining hall. And we'll bring that back this way, I think. There's no rush on building this. Start there, we'll do a path of 2. Let's see, I'll go back most of the way. Say 20. That's good. I'm also going to go ahead. Now's a good time. Pause. Population. Professions. New profession. Worker. Get rid of all of this. Alright, we can leave the miscellaneous on. Now we're going to go back up here into stone. We want masonry, stone cutter, wood. We want... not wood cutting, carpentry, wood carving. We can turn. Doesn't really matter. We're not gonna have metal for a while. We can turn gem on. That doesn't matter. We can turn. We do want cloth, right? Weaving, tailoring, yeah. We can turn that on. We're not gonna have engineering for a while either. We'll leave that off for right now. So there we go. We have a profession that's just gonna be running the workbenches. Now we're gonna come in here. We're gonna turn one of our builders into a worker. That guy right there. This way will be a worker. Okay, unpause, keep going. In fact, actually, we're gonna go right back in there and put both builders to that. Because, yeah, we want that. The normal builders, I don't know if we ever went into this, but if we go in here, professions, builder. Where's builder? Right there. The only thing they do is construct items, which means if the materials are like in a stockpile or sitting around, they'll take those materials and put the item together, or hauling. But they won't run the actual workshops or anything. So they're kind of useless in the way they are. Unless you just want a designated hauler, and I'm sure at some point we will want designated haulers, but right now we just don't have the population. Let's start cleaning up some of this clay. I found a good use for the clay. So we replace the clay with dirt, so grass will grow, and then we can put farms there. But then there's also a good use for the clay of making pots and stuff that you can sell to vendors. So we can buy emus and not yaks. What is it? Emus and llamas, whatever the thing is we get the wool from. What the heck are they called? Emus and... oh darn, that's gonna annoy me. Yeah, alpacas. Yeah, we can buy them, and they're pretty expensive from it. So the vendors sell them for 500 a piece, and 500 is, at least early on in the game, you gotta really budget in order to get that. Okay, so they're stacking down here, looking good, looking good. Let's see, what do we have down here? Contents. Raw stone, raw garnet, but nothing else. It's because they haven't brought any wood in. Now they're crafting something. I'm going to let them run for about a minute. We'll let them finish this up out here. And then I'm going to queue up a carpenter. I just want to get them some planks and everything made up first. Uh-oh, might be getting the hiccups. Talking and drinking at the same time, not a good thing. What else can we do while we wait? Let's see who's idle. Anybody idle? Sign. Everybody's doing something. That's good. Efficiency. Luckily, they don't have a happiness meter. If you play towns, you can actually overwork your people, and it'll decrease their effectiveness. They'll become sad, reduce their happiness, which means you get fewer citizens then. The gnomes don't seem to mind. They can work 24/7. Well, they can work until they fall asleep where they're working. What are they done? What are they done? Hurry up. Hurry up, gnomes. Dig. I've also found that there's a bug where sometimes grass just won't grow in certain places, even after you replace the clay with dirt. Logging out and logging back in or reloading the map, all of a sudden all that dirt will be grass. Again, beta. Alright. So, our miners are all done. This is all done. Let's go ahead, let's build workshop, wood, carpenter. Build. Spin our map around here. Put it in the right direction, like so. Put it right there. Whoops. Where? Which way do we want the map facing? Oh. I'm confused. There we go. That's the way we want it facing. Alright. So, what I like to do now, for where our kitchen and everything was going to be, mine wall, this will be our initial dining hall. And this will be... we'll just make it match the other one. It'll be 9 deep and say 6 wide. Go 7, so an odd number, so we can put a nice entrance in there. Now, the kitchen area where all the cooking gets done. Let's see, it's 3 things, 3 items, so we need it 9 deep. 3 this way, room for space, so that'll be there. Yeah, and then we'll go ahead and right here is going to be our storage location. We'll also go 9 deep, and we'll go say 4. Yeah, that'll work. And we want a connection there, connection there. We want an entrance here. We'll actually extend this out 2 more, and a connection here, and an entrance. So what did we do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 2, 3, 4, 5, right there. So this will be the dining hall. This here is going to be the storage location where all the food goes. This here will be the kitchen area where all the food gets cooked. So from the dining hall, they can just come right in here, get the food, go right back. See, our yaks, they want some straw, so they wandered away from their farm because they have no source of food inside their pasture. Oh, we got some clay here. Go ahead and Good. 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 Let's go ahead and get our woodcutters going now on some clippings. I think they do the clippings. We'll see here in a moment. I probably should have taken notice of that. We'll do clippings on these birch trees here. Right here. We'll get a grove going of birch trees eventually. Wait till somebody comes down here and starts clipping, and then I want to just double check real quick. Population, sign. So who is clipping trees? The farmers are clipping trees, not the woodcutters. I want to fix that. So, professions. Miner, woodcutter. What is that considered? Is that considered horticulture? Let's try that. What is horticulture? I would assume it's not animal. Yeah, there we go. Now they're helping out also. Good. So I want to check in here again. Something else. What is the rancher for? Is it animal husbandry? Okay, there we go. That's what I was. Yeah. All right. And actually, I'm going to go back in here. We'll get this sorted out in a second. Farmers. I want to make sure they work their fields before they... it's all part of agriculture. So I can move... Yeah, and unfortunately I can't sort that out. I was hoping to make it that I could bump up work fields over cut clippings, but unfortunately it doesn't break out that far down. Alright, back in here. Oh, alright, this is done. Designate area, stockpile. Stockpile 9 goods. This will be food, drink, plant grains, and body parts. Sounds disgusting. Good. And right away we're going to want to build storage barrel. Need barrel, and we'll put 2 barrels there. Unplug. Okay, well we have a pretty good start going here. At this point, it's going to basically be letting most of this finish up. Can we get the... Oh, this is ready. Let's get some wheelbarrows going. Alright, so this is going to be number 1 for right now. Highest priority. We have several things we want to get going. First thing we want to do is we want to get 5 wheelbarrows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's just planks and sticks. That's good. I did hit it 5 times, yes. Then we also want to get barrel. We want to keep. Whoops. No, don't do that. Barrel. Craft 2. Keep 3 barrels crafted and a crate. Craft 2. Keep 3 crates crafted. Good. And what else? Let's place. Need to place mine. Dig out, and it'll be 1, 5. Good. And this is going to be, I'm going to put down a little storage area here and designate just for the wheelbarrows. Okay. Designate area, stockpile. Alright, this is going to have a stockpile level of 2. And it's going to have... Where would that be? Wheelbarrow. Just wheelbarrows. Okay. Okay. I should turn off down here just to be safe. Goods. Wood. Turn off wheelbarrows. So the only place wheelbarrows can get stored are here. Alright, now, I think I want to get one wheelbarrow going so you guys can see it. So they need some sticks, need some other things. I'm kind of just planning out my area down here, trying to figure out how we want. I like to keep everything nicely symmetrical. What we'll probably do is clear this off, just bring this back to about here, so get a nice square wall here, and then we can put our 3 farms there and run the ranch this way in front of the whole area. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Is the wheelbarrow ready yet? Come on. Come on. Should be done. Should be done. Should be done. Oh, queue up one more thing. 2 more things. Build, workshop, stone. We want to get a stone cutter and a stonemason go so we can get troughs out there in our fields. So, whoops, I don't remember which one I picked, so I want to make sure I don't build it twice. Workshop, stone. This will be the stone cutter, right there, and build, workshop, stone, stonemason, build. There we go. And the stonemason will be needed to make the trough. I think he uses stone blocks. Anybody using a wheelbarrow yet? No, nobody's using a wheelbarrow yet. Alright, well, we're going to go ahead and cut the video there. By the next video, the wheelbarrows will be done. I can show them in use, because we're going to be digging out this area in time, so you'll see plenty of it being used to move dirt around at that point. Oh, there's a wheelbarrow. So you can see she's picking up a whole bunch of... What is she picking up? Wood. And he's picking up wood, too. So they're getting logs, and they're taking the logs down to the storage area. And it makes them just so much more efficient, as one guy can now carry 32 or whatever items, whatever the stack pile is, rather than one at a time. Alright, so, yeah, with that, we'll go ahead and call it a video. This has been Powder playing Gnomoria. Thanks for watching.